Hello friends and adventurers, and welcome back to Sally Cat Plays Exile Escape from the Pit. Last time we squished a nest of evil magic-using spiders. Now we're back in Fort Dovno to get our loot identified. Fort Dovno being the closest friendly town that has a sage as far as I can remember. So let's see what we have here. Energy potion, nice. Ooh, crystal wand. I don't remember exactly what that does, but I'm pretty sure it's good. Scroll of kill. Kill is a rather high damage single target spell. Pretty nice. Stone dagger is entirely useless. Steel helm is nice. Scroll of stealth could be good, but I usually prefer to just go in and bash enemies and not sneak around them as much. Gold ring of skill. Okay, that's a nice one. Rings come in 3 levels, bronze, silver, and gold, gold being the best. I don't remember exactly. I want to say that a ring of skill will increase chance to hit in combat. Maybe we'll give that one to Book, since he is an example of the kind of character who is getting his points split between magic and combat, and thus can only be so good at either one. Should probably go through and sell some of these items as well. I think I'm going to sell the spider glands. They can be used to make poison, which you can apply to your weapons and then poison your enemies, but particularly in this stage of the game, I usually don't mess with alchemy all that much. It's just a bit too much effort for not enough reward when I can buy potions or cast spells. That crystal wand. Ooh, Dispel Undead. That could be very nice if we're going someplace with undead anytime soon. And it tells me that the gold ring of skill is worth a fair bit, but doesn't actually tell me what it does. This is how you know this is a very early iteration of the game. I think I will keep this scroll of kill for a little while. Probably going to sell the stealth. And I will be back in a few minutes, as I'm sure nobody wants to watch Sally Cat organize and sell off her extra inventory. See you soon. And we're back. One thing that I think I've forgotten to mention is Zoe here has a fang necklace. That is something that can occasionally be found from Nephilim and their forts. What this does is, when it's equipped, it will occasionally bless the wearer. So, kind of a nice thing for warriors to have. I also noticed one more thing while I was putzing around, that there is a small corner of Fort Dovno that is not explored, and I'm a bit higher level than I was last time I was here, so let's see if I can't get this door open. Come on. There we go. You find the body of a Nephil. It apparently died of starvation, although the heavy flogging it appears to have received couldn't have helped. So they really don't like Nephilim around here, and aren't really into humane treatment of their non-human prisoners. Granted, I have no idea how they treat their human prisoners. Oh well. And I'm going to stop by Silvar for a sec to drop off a few of our extra items. Have I not explored this shop in my playthrough yet? A battered sign reads, "Gruber's Weapons out of business." Well, I better fix that. So this door should be a low enough level lock that we can just kick it open. Nice. So this is an abandoned shop, and we are breaking and entering, because that's how we do. And there is a secret tunnel at the back of it, with some special goodies. This room clearly hasn't been visited in a long time. Dust covers everything. You see what looks like a thin wire stretched across the narrow room. It does not look welcoming. If you proceed, you will attempt to disarm it. So this is clearly meant to be one of, if not the first traps that you encounter as a adventuring party here. Aw, come on, Kaylee, I know you can do better than that. Fortunately, we've got the cure-all poison spell. Ooh, extra poison, that's not good. Much better. And we'll take a look in the crate here. In the crate, you find a very nice short sword, covered in a thin layer of protective oil. We will take that, and of course we get an unidentified item just as soon as we get back from an identified trip. Of course. Anyhoozle. What? No, I don't want to talk, I want to drop items. River's been carrying around these sapphires, which we really don't need, at least until she gets the magic map spell, which is both high level and horrendously expensive. It can be very useful if you want to get the map of an entire area all at once. And for whatever reason, I blame Dungeons & Dragons, it costs a sapphire for each cast of the spell. So I'm going to nip back to Fort Dovno and get that sword identified real quick. Turned out that was a steel short sword, which would have been awesome if we'd gotten it when we first arrived in Silvar. But now everybody's got iron or better weapons. Hooray! So, now that that's all out of the way, let's get to exploring someplace new for this episode. And what have we here? The town of Cotra. I often like to start off exploring towns by doing a perimeter run. You see one of the town's soldiers, ready for action at a moment's notice. Ah, interesting. This seems to be a generic guard with a non-generic sprite. Usually you see this kind of sprite on a captain or some such. Dagnar. Guarding Cotra from the Sliths, and the Nephilim, and the Nepharim, and bandits. Heck, from everybody. Who are these, Nepharim? And he can't help us. Or she, it's not clear. It also doesn't matter. Hello, you are not a guard. A young woman wanders around, preoccupied. She wears a bright green dress and is in quite a good mood. She turns to you. I'm Nance. Yes, it is short for Nancy. No, I don't like being called that. She laughs. Normally, I trade off days with Elspeth. We own the weapon shop together. This is my day off. Ooh, weapons? Can you tell me about your weapon shop? No, you cannot. Can you tell me about Elspeth? Nance smiles shyly. She's my friend. She puts heavy inflection on the word friend, then watches your reaction. Yes, my very, very close friend. I don't know what the Empire's reason for sending you into exile was, but you're getting pretty close to mine. For a moment her cheery mood breaks, and her eyes show a cold glint of fury. So, here in Cotra we've got two women who are in a very close, committed relationship. And remember, this game came out in 1995. Gay awareness and gay rights weren't quite as much of a thing back then, so kudos to Jeff Vogel for including some LGBT characters here. There is a pregnant woman with long blonde hair behind the counter. She smiles. My name is Jenny. Welcome to my store. I brew a wide variety of different potions. I'm an alchemist by trade. For healing, for the curing of poison. She smiles down at her large stomach. For the easing of pain. Let me know if you want to buy something. May as well take a look at her stock. Weak healing, weak curing, weak strength. These are pretty bottom tier potions. In fact, I feel like I should maybe add to my previous statement Kudos to Jeff Vogel not only for including gay characters, but for not making them villainous or disrespecting them. Like, the Empire disrespects them, but the Empire is already established to be not very nice generally. Hello? There is a little nook in the wall here, through which you have an excellent view of the lake. Under the dim green light of the glowing fungus above, you can see a long way. It's a beautiful but eerie sight. Yaha, found another nook here. An archer sits at the water's edge, looking out carefully. He's old and wrinkled, but his eyes seem sharp. Elmer. Watching the water, the sliths occasionally attack from the lake. It's dull, but I deserve a rest. Can you tell me more about the sliths? No, you cannot. Look, son, I'm old, but I'm sly. I just came back from a recon mission at the Nephilim fort to the north. That sounds promising. He looks you up and down. Hope you're good if you plan to take on that place. It's a fort in a big cave, well defended. But it'd be easy to sneak to. To sneak it to? I think that's supposed to read it'd be easy to sneak into. There are narrow tunnels all over. I had an easy time slipping into them. You probably could too. I didn't look around much. Too many rats. But I bet there's an easy way into the fort. Well, we can file that information away for later. So apparently there is yet another fort full of Nephilim around here somewhere. You look interesting. You see a man in flowing robes, a polished staff close at hand. He doesn't seem to appreciate the attention. I am called Koenig. I am here looking for the Crystal Cave, and I prefer to be alone at the moment. Crystal Cave? A legendary, dangerous cave filled with powerful crystals. You hear of it from time to time, and if I knew of it, I wouldn't tell you. Well, good day to you too, sir. A young, steely-eyed man sits well back in the corner. He's hard to make out in the shadows. He looks you up and down coldly. My name? Just call me Asp. Just passing through. And that is all that we're going to get out of him for a while. An aging, raven-haired woman tends bar. She wears grey homespun, which must chafe awfully. I'm Elizabeth, owner of the Dark Lake Pub. I sell food and drink. Also, if you need a room for the night, we have one out back. Just say the word. On tap today is fine mulled ale. Only 3 gold a drink. A room is 5. And you can buy rations. Oh, we've got, all the usual inn stuff here. The ale is excellent and very strong. You enjoy it a lot, once you pick out the bits of mold floating on top. Delicious. I wonder if that's a mark of us having been down in the underworld long enough that we're getting a taste for the local brews. An old wood sign says, storage, keep out. Yeah, there's basically nothing interesting in there. This, on the other hand. The large building to the north is a boatworks. Small craft are everywhere, in various stages of construction. Then, when completed, there is a long iron track on which they can be rolled down to the lake. Impressive. You see a teenager. He's busy eagerly working on the boats. I'm Andrew. I'm apprenticed to Eduardo. Just working on the boats, spreading tar, filling holes, following Eduardo's orders. His eyes widen. He's good to work for. Doesn't beat me, lets me sleep 6 hours a night. Plus, his voice lowers to a whisper. I hear he was a pirate. Is that so? I think that's all Andrew can tell us. And here's the man himself. You see a heavy man with a peg leg. He wears an eye patch, but you can't help but notice he occasionally lifts it and looks at something with both eyes. He makes a brief "arr" noise. You aren't sure why. Arr, matey, I'm Eduardo. I'm the master boatsmith here. He says, "Arr," again. I sell boats, fine crafts, fit to sail the seas. Well, the lakes. I've got one ready to purchase. You look tough enough to brave the danger, matey, and a bargain at 250 gold. Now that is a bargain. It's a fair bit cheaper than the ones in Silvar. So, I heard you were a pirate back in the day. He sighs and makes the "arr" noise in a dispirited way. You've been talking to Andrew. I'm not really a pirate. I got thrown into exile for punching a captain. I just act like a pirate for fun. There's no real pirates down here. The Empire Count is a pirate. He draws his thumb across his throat. So, apparently he lost a leg somehow and decided to play pirate just for funsies. Honestly, don't blame him. A wood sign reads, "Boatworks." A boat is painted on the sign, floating through a cavern. So, yes, at some point we will totally be buying a boat here. Metal letters embedded in the wall. Fancy. City Hall. A wiry, nervous man sits behind the desk. He has long, frazzled hair and an aggressive bald spot. I'm Paul. I'm the secretary to his lordship, Mayor Steele. If you have some business with him, you have to ask me. But he's pretty busy with his prisoner business. You'd have better luck in the library. Ooh, I like libraries. Door on your left. Not much there, mostly records. He chuckles. But who knows, there might be a magic scroll. Mirror? Jube. Asked about the mayor. Could ask about prisoners? No. Paul is, unfortunately, not very useful to us. And these bookshelves? Also not very useful. Darn. So, despite the fact that we're not really supposed to be coming in here without permission, we can totally just walk through the door. A gray-haired man hunches over a desk, muttering to himself. He wears impeccably clean silk robes. Huh? He looks up at you briefly. Why did Paul let you in here? Go away. What? Look, I'm very busy. Unless you have something important to say, please go away. So I heard you got some prisoner dealy business. Ah, you've heard. Yes. The Nephilim captured a half-dozen of our troops in an ambush last week and took them to their fort by the lake to the north. If someone could rescue them and report back to me, I'd reward them generously. Well, we do like pulling off daring rescues and getting rewards. I think we may have our next mission objective. A bronze sign says, Elspeth's Arms and Armor. You see a lethal-looking woman in a leather baldric. Knives poke out from various places on her anatomy. I am Elspeth. Welcome to my humble shop. She grins in a reassuring, lamprey-like way. I deal in armor and weapons, and if you have any supplies you don't need, you can sell them to me. What with the lizards around, business has been very, very good. The Slithzerakai, that's what they're called. They all live to the west, and they've just started raiding and attacking. Like we didn't have enough trouble with the Nephilim. She looks back at the wide variety of weapons on the walls. Yes, it's been a two-front war, but we're holding them off pretty well. Better than some. Nephilim. And Nepharim. They're like Nephilim, but bigger and sterile. Don't know much about it, but that they're nasty. Captured a bunch of our people last week. She sighs, then starts fingering a knife up her sleeve. We'll pay them back. Mark my words. And, oddly enough, doesn't have anything to say about her partner Nance. I think they may talk about each other a little bit more in future games. There's a bunch of statues around here. I wonder if any of them are bleh. I wonder if any of the statues are of interest. Might as well have a look around and clear out the empty spots on the map. Living statue. Here we go. This is a statue of a bent old man. When you look at it closely, you see it is looking back at you. It stares at you. It smirks slightly. That is the only response you get. It smirks. I know something. There's this crystal cavern hidden nearby, with magical restorative powers, but someone vandalized it, and it awaits repair. It smirks again. So that backs up what Koenig said about the crystal cavern that he's looking for. Very unfortunate to hear that somebody vandalized it, though. Of course, we don't really know what to do about that at the moment. So we shall head north and perhaps look for that Nephilim Cave. You are at the base of a huge spire of rock, with a large spring at the top. Clear, glittering water, gleaming eerily in the light of the luminescent fungus above, showers down in a beautiful cascade. Pretty nice bit of writing there, I gotta say. Oh, hello, what is this? The sight before you takes your breath away. This large hidden cave is filled with large, flawless quartz crystals, covering the floor and walls. They catch your light and reflect it back in a blinding rainbow. The crystals hum and vibrate gently. The sound and motion is almost, but not quite soothing. It's not hard to figure out what the problem is. Near the cave entrance, vandals have broken off a bunch of the crystals. The damage is interfering with the soothing effect of the crystal vibrations. Well, we have an option to repair damage. You can't fix the damage. You soon find that 6 crystals are missing, and you can't do anything until you have all of them. Well, nuts. But now we know that we should be looking out for some crystals. No, that was not the thing. Farther north. Have I been here? This is a small spring, a pleasant counterpoint to the bare rock of this area. The runoff forms a small creek running down to the river to the south. You take a drink and turn away. As you do, you notice you have company. And they ran away. These guys are a little bit braver, maybe because they have a Slith warrior with them. So Sliths are big lizard men. The warriors are actually pretty nasty. Book, can you do anything useful? And I had thought that they tended to be more fire resistant. Maybe that's in the remakes or sequel games, or just applies to some of the tougher guys like this one. Of course, he seems to be more resistant to damage in general, so there's that. Simon, do something useful! Good job. Ah, this looks promising. Brigand and an apprentice mage. And the apprentice mage is being very stupid and sitting out front here. This shouldn't take long. Anyway, before we were so rudely interrupted, I had thought that there were a couple bands of Nephilim guards out front of the cave here. Apparently that is only in the remake. Well, I would venture on into the cave, but I've spent just enough spell points that I would rather end the episode here, take a rest break, and I will see you guys next time.